After reincarnating together with Kevin, we both tacitly pretended not to know each other. He followed Emily to study out of state while I stayed in our hometown. Leveraging his extra life experience, he quickly became an industry upstart and won the beauty's heart, living his best life. Meanwhile, I settled down near my parents in our old neighborhood. We met again at our 10-year class reunion. There Kevin sat smoking cigars with Emily draped over his arm, eyeing my simple outfit. He sneered, "This is what you've accomplished in 10 years?" I remained impassive until the late arriving Ryan pulled me into his arms. "Apologies, everyone. My wife's pregnant. Let's keep this room smoke-free." For the first time, the usually composed Kevin showed visible panic. At the reunion, whispers greeted me upon entering. Kevin actually landed Emily. Of course, look how successful he became in the city. Someone teased, "Weren't you and the campus couple back then?" A familiar drawl answered, "Just study buddies. Nothing serious." I smiled coolly. After 10 years of rebirth, old wounds meant nothing. Kevin lounged like royalty amidst our classmates, Emily preening in her Chanel tweed and Hermes bag beside his cigar smoke. My pregnancy glow and minimal makeup paled against her polished perfection. "Anne, look who's here!" Our class monitor called as gazes swiveled toward me. Kevin's eyes raked over my loose sweater before flashing disdain. I mingled with old friends until the monitor announced, Ryan's flight got delayed. During dinner, everyone toasted Kevin's success until I excused myself. Outside the restroom, alcohol flushed Kevin blocked my path. 10 years and this is all you've got? He jeered. Memories surfaced of our last life's final argument, me begging to return home after my father's preventable death. Him refusing to leave his metropolitan empire. That fight had killed us both on that highway, leading to this second chance where he'd chosen different priorities from the start. I could always bring my mom here to live, but she came before and never adjusted to the city. Not having any friends or relatives around. Not just her, even after all these years. I've never felt like I belonged here either. I finally snapped at Kevin, "If you won't go back, I'll go back alone. Are you really going to force me like this?" Kevin demanded. "What's so bad about staying in the city? Do you want to be a hick forever? Should our child start life at a disadvantage the moment they're born? I'm 5 months pregnant. This pregnancy makes me want to return home even more. I know how impossible it becomes to leave a city once your child is born. Besides, our hometown isn't some backwater. It's a Tier 2 city transitioning to Tier 1, nothing like the wasteland Kevin describes. So everyone who stays in smaller cities is worthless?" I challenged. "Exactly. Only losers settle for provincial lives without ambition." Kevin sneered. "I have nothing but contempt for people like that. Is that how you see me?" My bitter laugh hung in the air. "I don't want you becoming that kind of person," he said self-righteously. Then came the familiar barb, "I should have followed Emily here years ago instead of wasting 4 years at that hometown college with you." Emily had confessed to him before graduation. He'd rejected her then. We'd been study partners for 3 years. Our bond deepening daily. But since choosing our local university together, he'd repeated this regret countless times over 14 years. At first I thought it was just teasing, maybe his twisted way of emphasizing his sacrifices for our relationship. Later I realized the resentment ran deep. When we died in that car crash and miraculously revived on college application day, he immediately followed Emily to her out-of-state school without hesitation. I stayed local. We both knew about each other's rebirth, maintaining an unspoken agreement to live separate lives. Now his presence here clearly wasn't coincidence. "Finally see how limiting our hometown is?" he taunted when I remained silent. "Look at you, look at all our classmates. Who's actually succeeded? Not that you can change anything now. I'm marrying Emily." He produced a massive ring. Its 5-carat diamond slightly smaller than the one sitting in my drawer at home. "This should have been yours," he said, "if you hadn't ruined everything." Our previous life's wedding band had been modest, he couldn't afford better then. Now his gloating was unmistakable. Congratulations, I said flatly, brushing past him. His glare burned into my back. What right did he have to be angry? He'd chosen this path, living his supposed dream life. Did he need my regret to validate himself? Returning to my seat, my phone buzzed. Just landed? I answered. Be there in 20. Tired? I can head home alone after this. No way I'd let my wife attend reunion solo, came the reply. Smiling, I hung up. As I set down my phone, someone approached. Anne. Emily Lynn proactively brought over a glass of wine. Long time no see. Let me toast you, she said with a smile. I should thank you. Kevin told me you used to be his study buddy back then. He wouldn't have gotten into that top university without you. Gratitude's unnecessary. We helped each other. Regardless, Kevin's current success owes partly to you. Let me toast you on his behalf. She moved to pour beer into my glass. I don't drink. I refused. Just a little. Ignoring my protest, she tilted the bottle. When I blocked with my hand, she suddenly shrieked. Beer splashed across her designer outfit and handbag, patting her stained clothes with napkins. She fretted, this fabric can't get wet. The crowd tensed, aware of her luxury ensemble's price tag. After prolonged dabbing, she wheeled on me. Anne, even if you're jealous, how could you sabotage me? Could you even afford to replace these? Before I could respond, Kevin stormed over. This is too much. Anne, it was accidental. I barely touched the bottle. Did you lose your composure when I announced our engagement? Kevin sneered publicly. Murmurs erupted among classmates. Anne's always been calm. Would she really be jealous? Still waters run deep. They used to date before college. Bet she regrets dumping him now. Clenching my jaw, I reiterated, I explicitly declined the drink. Emily insisted. That's how the accident happened. I genuinely appreciate you helping Kevin study, Emily said with saccharine concern. But you need to let go. We all know you've never stopped caring for him. I stared incredulously. What delusion makes you think that? Did I say anything ambiguous? Does my expression look lovesick? Stop pretending, Anne. Emily persisted. Anyone would regret losing someone as successful as Kevin. Regret? I enunciated clearly. We choose our paths. I'm content with mine. Kevin snorted derisively. I stopped explaining, pointless with these strangers from my past. I'll compensate the damages. Send me the bill and account number. Compensate? Kevin scoffed. That outfit costs $15,000. The bag $30,000, $45,000 minimum before import taxes. What could you possibly? I inhaled deeply, recalling my obstetrician's advice about maintaining calm during pregnancy. We're not unreasonable, Kevin magnanimously declared. Apologize properly and we'll forget this. Apology isn't enough, Emily interjected. Swear before everyone you'll never covet Kevin again. A humorless laugh escaped me. Watching her triumphant glare, I gripped the half-empty beer bottle beside me. The doctor said pregnant women shouldn't get angry, but holding in frustration is worse. So I calmly poured the remaining half bottle of wine over Emily Lynn's dress and handbag. She gasped in shock, staring at me in disbelief before finally exclaiming, Anne, have you lost your mind? What are you doing? Kevin's song immediately shielded Emily, shoving me backward. Fortunately, our class monitor caught me and stepped between us, anticipating Kevin's volatile temper. Calm down, Kevin. Let's talk this through. And you think you're entitled to treat Emily like this? Kevin snarled, face contorted with rage. Who the hell do you think you are? I don't need your permission to be myself. I replied coldly. Since I agreed to compensate her, these clothes and bag are now mine. How I choose to handle my property is none of your concern. You think you can afford this? Kevin sneered. Give me your bank account number. I enunciated each word. Are you really going to bankrupt yourself out of spite? His voice dripped with mock concern. If only you'd tempered that stubborn pride earlier, things wouldn't have come to this. Account number. Now. My tone hardened. Don't say I didn't warn you. Kevin's threat hung in the air. Kevin. Stop wasting time. Emily interjected, trembling with fury. If she's so determined, let her try paying. We'll see how far that bravado gets her. Kevin rattled off a string of digits. I entered the account information but froze when the system prompted, incorrect password. I tried another combination. Error. My lips pressed thin, pregnancy brain fog strikes again. The room watched with bated breath as I struggled. Emily's mocking laughter broke the silence. Where's that grand gesture now? Anne? Not so confident without your money. HM? She waved Kevin's phone showing no transaction alerts. I forgot the password. I admitted. Too many failed attempts will lock the account. Convenient excuse. Emily scoffed. Kevin snorted derisively. Whispers rippled through our classmates. I actually believed she'd pay. That's like half a house down payment. $45,000 for drama? Should have just apologized. Now she's completely humiliated. Emily loomed over me. Planning to write an IOU? Will you need 10 years? 20? 10 minutes. I stated firmly. Ryan should arrive by then. Enough lies. Emily snapped. You can't afford this. Since verbal apologies aren't enough now, get on your knees. As the crowd closed in, the door burst open. Apologies for my tardiness. Came the familiar voice. Ryan Liu entered, adjusting his cufflinks. Flight delays. His gaze swept the room before settling beside me. He looked at the scene before him and noticed something unusual. What's going on? Just a small misunderstanding. The class monitor quickly mediated, turning to Emily and Kevin. We're all classmates here. There's no need for such tension. Do me this favor. All right? Monitor. It's not about disrespecting you. Emily said haughtily. And here started this by deliberately spilling wine on me. Even if I wanted to let it go. She owes me an explanation. Is that true? Ryan turned to me, the corner of his mouth quirking up. You spilled wine on someone? Ryan. I know you had a crush on and back in school. I don't want to badmouth her in front of you. But this is too much. Emily gestured angrily at her stained designer outfit. She's jealous of my relationship with Kevin and ruined my clothes and bag out of spite. You grew up privileged, you must recognize these brands. You're jealous of Emily? Ryan frowned at me. What do you think? I countered. Not particularly worth being jealous about. Ryan mused to himself. Emily's expression soured. Ryan, don't tell me you're still hung up on and after all these years? Never stopped. Ryan admitted easily. The other classmates exchanged shocked glances. None knew we'd gotten married. Truth was, Ryan had pursued me for years before I finally agreed. My failed marriage with Kevin, decent on paper but emotionally suffocating, had made me wary. Over time, I realized Ryan was different. My parents' increasing pressure about remarrying eventually wore me down. We'd quietly obtained our marriage certificate earlier this year and postponed the wedding after discovering my pregnancy. I'm only here tonight for her, Ryan stated, turning back to me. So what's happening now? I forgot my bank PIN. Transfer $45,000 to Kevin's account to compensate Emily. I answered. Account number. Ryan already had his phone out. Emily gaped while Kevin's face darkened. Ryan. This is between us and Anne. Stay out of it. Anne. How dare you make Ryan pay for your mistake? Emily spat. Just because he likes you doesn't mean you can take advantage. I don't mind, Ryan said cheerfully. Being needed by her is my pleasure. Emily trembled with rage. Her attempt to humiliate me backfiring spectacularly. She'd hated me since our school days, though I never understood why. Our history with Kevin should have been ancient history. This the right account? Ryan showed his screen to Kevin after inputting the numbers. Kevin glared silently at the confirmation. The transfer notification chimed moments later. You actually paid her $45,000? Emily stared at Kevin's phone in disbelief. Obviously, Ryan snapped. Now get back to your seat. Emily shot Kevin a desperate look, but he wordlessly stalked back to their table, lighting a cigar. As the class monitor urged everyone to resume eating, Ryan sat beside me and frowned at the smoke. Kevin, he called coldly. My wife's pregnant. No indoor smoking. The room froze. Wife. Emily blurted. Who's your wife? Ryan chuckled, wrapping an arm around my shoulders. Is it not obvious? He wrapped his arm around me and introduced me openly. We just got our marriage license and haven't had the banquet yet, so we haven't had time to inform everyone. But since Anne is unexpectedly pregnant, the wedding will be postponed. You married Anne? Emily's voice turned shrill. Any problem? Ryan retorted to Emily. Emily instantly flushed with embarrassment. Utterly mortified. She'd been arrogantly claiming I envied her relationship with Kevin earlier, even insulting me for being poor. Yet everyone knew Ryan had been exceptional since school days, not just coming from a good family, but also ranking top academically. After college, he started his own business, and his current commercial achievements were no less than Kevin's, even slightly surpassing them. Though operating in different cities without much overlap, both were well aware of each other's accomplishments through alumni circles. That's why Emily now squirmed with shame. The classmates' gazes toward Emily shifted noticeably. Suddenly her earlier snobbery seemed utterly tacky. Honestly, I'd never intended to flaunt my relationship with Ryan. What drew me to him wasn't wealth or status, but shared values. Having lived two lives, I understood how crucial compatibility truly was. Without it, even the most passionate love would eventually suffocate in marriage's tomb. After our announcement, classmates eagerly toasted us. Ryan protectively declared, "My wife doesn't drink alcohol, milk only. We get it. Unlike some people who throw their weight around just because they've got money," a classmate remarked pointedly. The social tide had clearly turned. Emily looked wretched, desperately seeking Kevin's support with pleading eyes. But Kevin's attention never reached her. He kept staring intensely at me. I tried ignoring him, but his burning gaze eventually forced me to meet his eyes. His red-rimmed glare held inexplicable fury. What right did he have to be angry? Wasn't this peaceful resolution best for everyone? Ryan noticed the stare too. He chuckled. Kevin, do you have objections to my marriage with Anne? Kevin withdrew his gaze, viciously crushing his cigar while drinking in silence. Ryan didn't waste more time on him, steering me toward other classmates exchanging congratulations. They cheered about Ryan's years of patience finally rewarded and called us the perfect match. The reunion's atmosphere actually improved after our arrival. The earlier tension forgotten. Suddenly the former stars Kevin and Emily became social pariahs, leaving abruptly before the event concluded. What's his problem? Someone muttered as Kevin stormed out. Another snorted. Thinks a few years in the big city makes him God's gift. We were just being polite. Who needs that superiority complex? Different lifestyles don't mean hierarchy. I wasn't surprised. Kevin always looked down on our hometown folks, considering us provincial nobodies. As we drove home later, Ryan slightly tipsy from drinks, he muttered sourly, "Seems Kevin still hasn't gotten over you." Impossible. I'm certain. He simply couldn't stand seeing me thrive. In his mind, staying in the small town should have meant wasted years and lifelong regret. Yet against all odds, I've built stability here. Finally, he realized that all these years apart, I wasn't just holding a grudge. Ryan didn't say more. He simply held me tightly, murmuring in my ear, I should thank him for abandoning you back then. Abandonment? That's not quite accurate. I've always believed it was a mutual decision. I never resented Kevin, not even a little. If he hadn't suddenly reappeared, I might have truly forgotten him. Yet the very next day, Kevin called. Anne, let's meet. I refused outright. What's left to discuss? I'll wait at Icelandic coffee. He hung up, certain I'd come. Just like in our past life, he knew how to manipulate me. Every argument we'd ever had, regardless of who was right, always ended as Kevin desired. Otherwise, in that previous decade-long marriage, he wouldn't have succeeded in keeping me tethered to his nomadic city life. This time, I went partly from morbid curiosity about his motives, partly to sever ties for good. The moment I entered the cafe, triumph flashed in Kevin's eyes. To him, I remained predictable. I sat down and cut to the chase. What do you want? Cappuccino? Or mocha? He offered. Water. I'm pregnant. His expression flickered, but he ordered my water without comment. Anne, I never imagined you'd end up with Ryan. Didn't you say you disliked him in college? People change. I said coldly. You rejected Emily's confession back then too. Yet here you are with her. That was because, he bit off the sentence. I shrugged. Marriages are private affairs. Only the wearer knows if the shoe fits. Are you saying ours didn't? He snapped. Obviously. Why else would we have gone our separate ways? I was teaching you a lesson. Kevin's voice rose. Making you realize your stubbornness was wrong. If you just admitted regret and come back, we could have reconciled. I studied him, no anger. No mockery. Just weary bewilderment. Why this arrogance? Because I'm always right, he declared. Look at our classmates. How many small-town stay-outs achieved greatness? Sure, Ryan's done well. But that's family connections talking. Without his privileged background, he'd be nothing. I'm the one who clawed my way up in the metropolis, through my own sweat. His speech crescendoed, face flushing. I sipped my water, not interrupting him. It wasn't until he noticed my prolonged silence that he snapped. Why aren't you saying anything? You're always right. What's the point of me speaking? Anne, drop the sarcasm. Is it so hard to admit someone's accomplished? Fine. You're exceptional. I conceded. Surviving alone in a foreign city is tough. Let alone thriving like Kevin has. His face bloomed with barely contained pride. I've never doubted your ambitions. I continued. Your achievements are undeniable. The world needs driven people like you to push progress. But Kevin, my voice tightened. Your path being right doesn't make others' choices wrong. Who gave you the right to judge, no, mock, how others live their lives? You've broadened your horizons. Built a better life. Contributed to society, that's your civic duty done. But where's your duty to family? Do your parents not wish you'd stayed? Money covers retirement. But at their age, don't they crave something no paycheck can buy? Enough. Kevin slammed his palm on the table. I didn't come for a lecture. Of course he hadn't. His convictions were immovable. This conversation only cementing what I'd known for years, shared values matter more than history. The silence stretched until Kevin broke it. Let's cut the pretense. I'm asking you to come back with me. My cup clattered against the saucer. Consider this my surrender. His jaw worked. Return now. and we'll pretend the past decade never happened. One condition: terminate the pregnancy. Minutes crawled by before I could form words. I'd expected today to be his victory lap. Not this grotesque proposal. My voice emerged steadier than I felt. I'm married. Expecting. Happy. You're engaged. Rooted in your metropolis. And yet here you are. Proposing we. A bitter laugh escaped me. Which is it? Kevin? My refusal to worship your success. Or your inability to stomach mine? His neck flushed mottled red. This is about us. Anne. You've been punishing me for 10 years over choosing my career. Fine, I'll resign. We'll move back to your hometown. Live near your parents. Happy now? He mistook my stunned silence for consideration. Take till tomorrow to decide. My flights. No need. I stood. Chair screeching. My answer's clear. You're throwing away a second chance? His composure cracked. This humility doesn't come twice. Your humility demands I abandon my marriage. My child. My life. My purse strap bit into my palm. We died to each other the day we chose different paths. Anne. His grip bruised my wrist. What more do you want? To never hear Kevin again. The cafe door chimed my exit. His shouts dissolving into city noise. 10 years too late. I realized some goodbyes should have been forever. Consider this my childish tantrum. I couldn't explain myself to him. Nor did I care about his thoughts. I'd keep acting this way forever. So Kevin Song shouldn't waste his time on me. Anne. What do you really want? Kevin's voice cracked. Do you need me to beg on my knees? Admit I still love you? Admit I can't live without you? I studied Kevin. His words today shattered everything I thought I knew about him. Noticing my silence. His tone softened. Let's treat this past decade as a bad dream. We'll start over. I only left back then because I was angry with you. Not because I stopped loving you. Angry? My laugh bit like winter wind. You chose your own path. Realized it wasn't fulfilling. And now want to backtrack. That's not anger, that's buyer's remorse. Kevin flushed crimson. When did I ever regret anything? My success speaks for itself. Emily would jump to bear my child if I snapped my fingers. Your opinion means nothing to me now. Then why are you here? My voice stayed calm as a frozen lake. The moment you followed Emily to that other city, we became strangers. Don't pretend otherwise. Stop lying. Anne, you're still bitter I chose her over you. Too proud to admit you want me back. Even when I'm handing you the perfect excuse. I'll admit this much, my fingers tightened around my purse strap. When you left without hesitation after my difficult period. It hurt. Our years together meant so little. That revelation freed me. Until today. I'd nearly forgotten your existence. Anne, please. Save it. Whether you believe me or not. This ends now. Never disrupt my happy life again. I wrenched my arm free. Storming away without a backward glance. Surely this scorched earth confrontation meant closure. Our paths shouldn't cross again, not as lovers. Not even as acquaintances. Yet 2 weeks later. My phone lit up, Anne. I'm home for good. I stared at the words until they blurred. My thumb jammed the power button. Hallucination. Stress dream. Anything but reality. But there he stood at my office lobby that evening, suit impeccable. Roses spilling from his arms. Ryan had been urging me to take maternity leave. But I refused to sit home dwelling on this exact scenario. Anne. Kevin materialized before me. Floral perfume cloying. I've liquidated everything out there. No more separations. No more. You think geography was our problem? My laugh startled nearby security guards. We grew apart because we chose different priorities. Different people. I never stopped choosing you. His knuckles whitened around the bouquet. Ryan gives you comfort. Stability, fine. But I can provide that now too. You're settling for him when your heart wants. Know what I've learned? I cut him off, marveling at his audacity. Love isn't some eternal flame. It's a campfire, neglect it, and ashes remain. His eyes glistened dangerously. This wasn't the broken girl he'd left behind. In our previous understanding, I chose words carefully. When I followed you west, you promised we'd return home. But success changed you. My mistake was believing your dreams included me. His roses trembled. I never lied. Omission is its own truth. You planned permanent roots there from day one. I stepped around him, voice steady as my swelling abdomen. Funny how your forever home became disposable once I moved on. The elevator doors closed on his stricken face. This time, I knew better than to assume finality. Men like Kevin always return for encores. But next time, I'd be ready. Kevin tried to justify himself. I was afraid you wouldn't come with me. I truly love you and couldn't bear to lose you. After a rebirth, you followed Emily to another city without hesitation. Did you ever worry about losing me? Kevin choked, pain etching his features. I thought your love was strong enough to wait for me. I never imagined you'd actually be with another man. His voice cracked. Is that why you came back? Because you can't stand me being with someone else? Anne, I've always loved you. Emily was just a momentary distraction. His confession turned my stomach. You wasted 10 years of Emily's life claiming not to love her. You demand my submission while calling it love. Now that your control slips, you panic. How pathetic. I'm sorry. The sudden apology hung between us. Please forgive me, Anne. I'll never disappoint you again. He produced a ring from his pocket, the same wedding band he'd promised Emily. Remember this? We couldn't afford it during our marriage. But I vowed you'd have it. His hands trembled. I returned to reconcile. This was always meant for you. Do you know why Emily confronted you at the reunion? She knew I wanted you back. I laughed bitterly. His idea of reconciliation involved humiliation rather than affection. My gaze fell on the glittering band. You never gave this to me in our previous life. Even after becoming wealthy. Work consumed me. No. You only value what's lost. I cut him off. Even now, you're not sincere. This ring isn't about love, it's desperation. You've realized I don't need you anymore. Kevin dropped to his knees in the corporate plaza. I abandoned big city opportunities for you. Your choice, not mine. My voice stayed frosty. Our split wasn't about geography. It was your endless betrayals. I'll change. You won't. Every action serves your agenda. Years of heartbreak crystallized into clarity. You exploited my love, confident I'd always forgive you. Now you're here because your aging parents need care. And Emily won't play nurse. Ryan materialized nearby, patient and assured. His quiet presence outshone Kevin's theatrics. Ready to go, sweetheart? Ryan's arm settled around me. As we turned away, Kevin shouted after us, I stayed for you. Not Emily or my parents. I paused. Even without those reasons. We're done. Love can't be resurrected. Kevin. No lingering affection remained, only crystalline certainty. My future walked beside me, radiating quiet devotion no empty ring could ever match. Everything came from Ryan. After that, I never gave Kevin another chance to get close. I blocked his number and refused all unknown calls. I resigned from my job. Ryan had always hated me working outside, saying he could provide for me. And if I feared boredom, I could work at his company. I'd previously declined to avoid dependency, but now I deeply understood we were family. Months later, I gave birth to our daughter. 6 months after that, Ryan and I held our grand wedding, inviting many old classmates, though Kevin wasn't among them. When we toasted at the alumni table, someone mentioned Kevin hadn't left town in over a year. He and Emily broke up. Another added, his mother passed away last week. At least he stayed home with her this past year. Someone remarked. Otherwise, how could he live with himself? I attended the funeral. A classmate said. Kevin looked completely different from last reunion, dull, lifeless. His mother's final regret was never holding a grandchild. Maybe he's still hung up on Emily? No. A female classmate whispered. Emily stayed in town for him. Even tried reconciling. He refused. She says he can't forget. Her eyes flicked to me before trailing off. I pretended not to hear, calmly sipping champagne while greeting guests. After the reception, Ryan and I collapsed at home exhausted. As he sorted monetary gifts, he suddenly called. Anne, there's a personal envelope for you. The red packet bore Kevin's name. I hadn't seen him today. Ryan shrugged when I glanced at him. Inside were a ring, a letter, and $88,888 cash. Anne, congratulations. I know you don't want to see me, but I had to witness your wedding. Did I hide well enough? I needed to confirm you're truly happy, to finally accept you don't love me anymore. Not even a little. I'd arrogantly believed you'd wait if I returned. You were right when I left during our separation. It wasn't just spite. I thought I could be happy with anyone else. Enjoy freedom from your nagging, no forced breakfasts. No scoldings when I came home drunk. No daily arguments about visiting your hometown. Then one day, I missed it all. Your meals. You waiting up no matter how late I partied. How you'd hold me tight. The longing lasted years. Yet I never came back. Stubbornly waiting for you to yield first. Because your choice was wrong. Until I finally couldn't take it anymore. I was desperate to be with you. Even frequently calling Emily by your name. So I returned. Attending the class reunion. When I saw you dressed plainly, I naively thought I'd won. You're struggling so much now, if I ask you back, you wouldn't refuse. But reality slapped me hard. The look in your eyes held no love left. I thought I could use money to pressure you. Never expecting you'd married Ryan and were pregnant. You lacked neither money nor love anymore. Panic set in. What could possibly make you return? I kept telling myself you only chose Ryan to spite me. You loved me. Last lifetime you adored me so much. Couldn't just stop loving me. So I shamelessly came back. Believing I still had a chance. Whatever Ryan gives you, I can too, and since you love me more, you'd be moved. Now I see I was only humiliating myself. How dare I abandon you yet arrogantly expect you'd wait forever? I'm truly selfish and despicable. Even now, I still want you to know, leaving the city was for you. Not my parents. Though I'm grateful I accompanied my mother in her final days. I know words mean nothing now. I'm just so heartbroken. Anne, this pain is unbearable. When you went into labor, I visited the hospital. Our classmates crowded around them. I genuinely looked forward to the baby's arrival too. Prepared to be a father. But given another chance, I still missed it. I'm sorry. Anne. Truly. Be happy forever. Reading this letter, I felt conflicted. Kevin's current pain mirrors what I felt reborn. Watching him walk away without looking back. Though I kept telling myself to respect his choice. Late nights still brought collapse. Resentment. Agony. But now, it's past. I don't know how long Kevin needs to heal. Honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. I tossed the letter into the trash. Missing the postscript on the envelope. Anne, I'll wait outside your marital home all night. Ryan watched my action. Smiling beside me. Honey, he said, the night's fleeting. We turned off the lights. From now on, the long nights would never be lonely again.